In this video, we're going to compare the brand new DJI Mini 3 to the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which is a more advanced Pro version that's been out for several months. DJI basically took the Mini 3 Pro and took out some features like obstacle avoidance and 4K 60 frames per second to offer the Mini 3 for $200 less than the Mini 3 Pro. So let's dive right in and look at the differences between the Mini 3 and the Mini 3 Pro. First up is obstacle avoidance. The Mini 3 Pro has forward and backward as well as downward obstacle avoidance, but the Mini 3 loses forward and backward obstacle avoidance, which basically means that it doesn't have functional obstacle avoidance. And that's a major loss, especially for beginner drone pilots, because even though obstacle avoidance isn't perfect, it will save you from a lot of crashes. The next feature that's missing on the Mini 3 is focus track, also known as active track. This lets you automatically track a moving subject or keep it in the center of the frame while you fly around it or automatically orbit it. Again, the Mini 3 Pro has focus track, but all of these features have been cut from the Mini 3. Another feature DJI cut from the Mini 3 is time-lapse and hyperlapse. The Mini 3 Pro has all the standard hyperlapse options that DJI drones have, and it doesn't seem like it would be actually cutting costs to remove the option from the firmware, so I think this is basically product segmentation, DJI saying, if you want hyperlapse features, you have to get the more expensive drone. And moving on to video specs, the Mini 3 uses the same 12 megapixel 1/1.3 inch image sensor with dual gain HDR that the Mini 3 Pro uses, so you would expect it to have the same video specs as the Mini 3 Pro, but again, DJI is limiting what the Mini 3 is capable of to protect their higher priced drones. The Mini 3 Pro can shoot 4K video up to 60 frames per second, but the Mini 3 non-Pro version is limited to a maximum of 30 frames per second in 4K. And in Full HD, the Mini 3 Pro can shoot 120 frames per second slow motion, but again, the Mini 3 is limited to 60 frames per second at Full HD resolution. So major limitations on video resolution and frame rate options. Another video feature that's missing on the Mini 3 is a flat color profile for color grading. The Mini 3 Pro has a 10-bit decine-alike flat color option, which takes full advantage of the HDR sensor's high dynamic range and gives you great color grading flexibility, but the Mini 3 only has the standard color profile. Now, if you're just getting into drones or aren't trying to create super high quality cinematic drone videos, this probably isn't going to matter to you, but for someone like me who's all about creating professional quality video, not having the flexibility of a flat color profile is a major downside. Moving on to photos, the Mini 3 only shoots 12 megapixel photos, whereas the Mini 3 Pro has a super resolution 48 megapixel mode, but I haven't been very impressed with the 48 megapixels from the 3 Pro, so I wouldn't say that's a big loss. The Mini 3's control range is also shorter than the Mini 3 Pro due to using the older OcuSync 2 transmission system instead of OcuSync 3. The Mini 3 has a maximum control range of 6.2 miles, whereas the Mini 3 Pro has a maximum control range of 7.5 miles. Now, while it might seem like both of these are more than you'll ever need, in a test that I did in very challenging conditions, I got less than a mile of usable control range from the Mini 3 Pro, so depending on your conditions, you likely won't get the stated range on either of these drones. And then moving on to some of the features that the Mini 3 keeps from the Mini 3 Pro, both drones have the same gimbal design that lets you flip the camera at 90 degrees to shoot vertical photos and video, and also lets you tilt the camera up to 60 degrees above horizontal to see above the drone. And both drones can shoot raw photos, so it's nice to see that DJI didn't remove that option from the cheaper Mini 3. And maximum speed and wind resistance should be the same on both drones as they use the same basic body and platform. And finally, there's one area where the Mini 3 beats the Mini 3 Pro, and that is flight time. The Mini 3 is rated for 38 minutes of flight time on the standard battery versus 34 minutes for the Mini 3 Pro, and 51 minutes with the extended range battery versus 47 minutes on the Mini 3 Pro. So now for my final thoughts, is the Mini 3 worth getting for $200 less than the Mini 3 Pro? Based on everything that they cut out and dumbed down, I would say probably not. For $200 more, you're getting obstacle avoidance, active track, 4K 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second slow motion, hyperlapses, a 10-bit log color profile, 48 megapixel photos, and better range, so I'd recommend getting either a cheaper drone to learn on, or shelling out the extra $200 and getting the Mini 3 Pro. And on top of that, when DJI has them in stock, you can get a refurbished Mini 3 Pro straight from DJI themselves for only $50 more than the Mini 3 non-Pro version. Now, if you're primarily interested in shooting photos and not video, the basic Mini 3 could be a good option because aside from lacking obstacle avoidance and having a shorter range, most of the photo-related features carry over from the Mini 3 Pro to the Mini 3, but in general, I'd still recommend against getting the non-Pro version of the Mini 3. And just keep in mind that the results that you get with these drones is not about what drone you have, but about your skill in using that drone. I've gotten amazing shots with all kinds of drones all the way back to the original Phantom 3, which was much worse than the Mini 3 or even the Mini 2 or Mini SE. And so if you'd like to improve your drone skills, I have a full drone filmmaking course where I teach you everything you need to know to create cinematic drone videos, as well as a 7-day drone filmmaking challenge that costs just $27. And links to those are in the description. And you can click or tap the screen to watch another video about the Mini 3 Pro or about improving your drone skills. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to gently tap the like button and subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out when we release more content just like this. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I'll see you in the next video.